Consider these facts. This is my 13th State of the University address, and in 6 of those years, the state has cut our appropriation. And this year's state funding was the same as it was in 1995. In the future, funding will be increasingly based upon performance measures, many of which, to me, seem arbitrary at best, or use imperfect measures to assess important educational outcomes. And uncertainty over pensions has created an exodus of some of our most experienced people. It could also constrain our future ability to compete for the best faculty and staff in the global marketplace. Yet, despite all of this, NIU thrives. One of those recent successes that we should note is the progress we've made toward embedding enriched and engaged learning into every student's experience. Such offerings have always been a point of pride at NIU, and we've made it a goal in the Vision 2020 initiative to build upon that strength. We've already seen those efforts pay off. Last year, more than 2,000 students spread across every college participated in some form of enriched learning. That's a 5-fold increase over the previous year. Now, NIU's honors program is another area where we exceeded our Vision 2020 goals. 172 honors students graduated in May 2012, an NIU record. Strengthened by a set of new recruitment efforts, by Vision 2020 and strategic planning funding, including the relocation of the Honors House to the new Residence Hall, and Honors program continues to gain momentum. This fall, Honors welcomed 226 freshmen and 104 transfer students. That is a dramatic increase. In fact, the last time our freshman class of university honors students was that large was 1987, when most of our students were well, of course, they weren't born. The honors program's success dovetails into the improved academic profile of our entire freshman class. With our overall enrollment slipping this year, we did experience an increase in freshmen of about 3% over last year. Now that bodes well for the future and represents an incredibly important turning point for NIU. We reversed the downward trend in freshman enrollment that has been troubling us for over the last 4 years. The trend has not only hit us hard each year with our incoming freshman class, but multiple years of this has resulted in smaller classes throughout the pipeline. Also of great import this fall, while growing the freshman class, we increased the percentage of students in the top 10% and the top 25% of their high school graduation classes. And the mean high school GPA of our freshmen increased as well. And in a related vein, I would like to make a special mention of how well our student athletes have done in helping maintain our academic profile. Last year, for the 7th consecutive year, every one of our athletic teams exceeded the academic standards set by the NCAA, which to me is just as impressive as the 3 MAC championships and other on-field successes that our teams celebrated last year. Thanks to donors, we have Barcima Hall, the Barcima Alumni Visitor Center, and the Jordan Center. All of those buildings were built with private donations. The same will be true of the Chesick Indoor Practice Facility, the first project on campus to attract 3 gifts of $1 million. That's 4 state-of-the-art facilities, all built with private gifts over the course of 10 years. To put that in perspective, prior to the last decade, the number of buildings on campus built with private money was 0. That new residence hall is particularly exciting. That 1,000-bed facility is not only the crown jewel of our residential Renaissance program, it is the embodiment of our commitment to creating improved living, learning environments and to attract top students. As we look back at all the campus enhancements, there is one high-profile capital improvement that I've yet to mention. For me, and I think for all of us at NIU, it holds a very special meaning. After the terrible tragedy that unfolded on our campus on February 14, 2008, many people thought Cole Hall should be torn down. And I have to admit that I was one of them. But Fay Cooper Cole Hall has been at the heart of the NIU community since it first opened in the late 1960s. The building's twin lecture halls were used by about 6,000 students each semester, and the facility was well known to tens of thousands of students, alumni, and faculty. After seeking input from across NIU, we determined that most people in our community did not want to see Cole Hall torn down. They wanted to see it rise again. And long before the work crews arrived to start the state-funded, nearly $6 million renovation, we researched hundreds of case studies on how to create the best possible interactive learning spaces. And in January of this year, we unveiled the new Cole Hall. The building, with its lobby providing a sweeping view of Central Campus, including nearby Memorial Garden, has been transformed. It is now home to the Anthropology Museum and high-tech collaborative learning settings that maximize the educational experience. It will be looked to as a national model. It is personally inspiring for me to know that this building will now foster learning for tens of thousands of 21st century students. So once a symbol of tragedy, Cole Hall is now a symbol of rebirth, of resolve, and resiliency. When I look at Cole Hall, and I think about the major physical and academic changes that have happened in the dozen years that I've been president, I am indeed reminded of how committed, hard-working, and ingenious the NIU community is. I didn't say it was easy. But despite the economy, despite government's disinvestment in higher education, despite all that has been thrown at us, NIU has risen to every challenge, ascended in its national profile, and built the framework for an even brighter, more sustainable, and more independent future. Now, I cannot express in words my love for this university, for its people, for its faculty, for its staff, and especially its students, who every day invigorate and inspire me. Now, we have shared triumph, and we have shared tragedy, and in some ways, I feel that we have experienced a whole lifetime together. But a university presidency is not a lifetime appointment. In recent months, after several discussions with Barbara, who's here, and my son Russell, I have decided that this is the time. This is the time for me to pass the torch to another who will carry out the noble mission of this great university. And so my final day as president of Northern Illinois University will be June 30th, 2013. I will complete 13 years of presidential service to this venerable institution. only by our imagination. You've heard from a few of our new faculty. You've listened to students share the transformational nature of the new residence hall on their living and learning experience. And while my tenure as president of this great university is winding down, it is not over yet. I have 8 months left on the job, and I intend to make every day count. And I'm hoping that before I leave, we can turn the wheel a few more times. And I know we can, in the NIU spirit of always moving forward, together, forward. Thank you for